What's your everybody? It's your boy Chimpact, bringing you guys my week 5 match team builder against Fufu, and I'm about to play him in a bit, so I will probably be live recording it because I got the layout and I fixed up my settings, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. But we got the team here, and it's Mew, Kirim, Suicune, Barizion, Klefki, Electros, Kecleon, Banette, Mega Banette, Dragonite, Crocodile, and Crobat. So he has a few threats on his team. The main three that I'm looking at are Crocodile, Dragonite, and Kirim. I have a Diancie to deal with the Dragon Staff from the Kirim and the Dragonite, but Dragonite can boost up to outspeed my Diancie and hit me with an Iron Head or Earthquake. Probably going to be Earthquake because you typically want to have extreme speed to deal with the Scolipede in case I do have Rock Slide. As well as the fact that extreme speed is also just going to be important in general for dealing with the Kingdra in case it is low. So Dragonite is a threat. Crocodile because my main defensive Pokemon don't really handle it that well. Blastoise does not enjoy taking a knockoff. Metagross, no knockoff. Celebi does resist the Earthquake, but it is vulnerable to the knockoff. Kofag, obviously the knockoff. And the Diancie is weak to the Earthquake. So the Crocodile is going to be threatening, and the Kirim Black, or the Kirim, if it was a Kirim Black it would be game over for me. The Kirim is difficult to deal with because although it doesn't really outspeed everything on my team, it has really solid bulk, and with Earth Power it deals a ton of damage to my Steelix. It deals a ton of damage to pretty much everything on my team. I doubt he would run Focus Blast because not only is it inaccurate, but it only does a little bit more than Earth Power. Well, it does a lot more than Focus Blast, but it only really hits Steelix essentially. But if he's running Focus Blast and I have a Metagross, then that's just bad for him because then you run 2 coverage moves, and maybe you want to run Substitute, maybe you want to run Roost, so like Dragon Pulse, Ice Beam, Earth Power. Focus Blast is not really that good. I mean, he could forego one of his stab moves, which I definitely wouldn't be surprised with, like maybe no Dragon Pulse, but we'll see. If he doesn't run Dragon Pulse, then my water types handle it a little bit better, my Blastoise and my Politoed, as well as my Kingdra. So the Kirim is also a problem. And then we take a look at the Pokemon that can be threats but aren't really that problematic. Mew, I don't really know what he's going to do with the Mew. It could be a Defog user. He also has a Crobat with Defog to support the Dragonite. The Banette is also pretty threatening because it deals a ton of damage to my Kofag with any attack. My Tornadus is not going to be able to take Shadow Claws that well. It can Destiny Bond my Diancie, and I think Diancie is going to be a win con because if you look at his team, he has 2 Moonblast Resist in Crobat and Klefki, and Klefki I think is definitely going to be worn down pretty easily between the way that my team is going to be built, and so I'm not really worried about Klefki. So like if you take a look at the Moonblast, if he Destiny Bonds my Diancie with Mega Banette, that's a problem, so I'm going to have to be aware of trying to kill the Banette without activating the Destiny Bond. And the support Pokemon, like I said, the Mew, the Kecleon, do not forget that it learned Stealth Rock. His 3 Stealth Rock users are Crook, Mew, and Kecleon. And Kecleon could definitely carry rocks. Crocodile could carry rocks, but I think it's going to be a Stealth Rock user. I doubt he would carry Intimidate on his team because my only physical attacker that I would probably bring is Steelix, and Metagross is not affected by Intimidate, and Scolipede can still OHKO Crocodile through Intimidate, so I think he would probably bring Moxie instead. And the Crocodile, it's really stupid how the format works for my Diancie, because Diancie should normally wall these flying types, but every single flying type learns Steel Wing. So unfortunately I can't use my Diancie to handle that, but anyways, let's go into my team. I have Blastoise with Scald, Ice Beam, Roar, and Rapid Spin. Spikes, I don't really want to start a Hazard War against Fufu because he has Extreme Speed in his Dragonite, and he also has Moxie with Crocodile, and he has a fast Crobat, so I don't want to go in that Hazard War with him, so I want to be able to use Rapid Spin effectively, as this is also going to be a great switch in against his Klefki because it's not going to be carrying Dazzling Gleam. He has way too many support moves to be carrying Dazzling Gleam. He needs to carry Flash Cannon to be able to deal with the Diancie 100%. If he's bringing Klefki, he's probably bringing Spikes or Screens, and definitely Thunder Wave to deal with the Kingdra. So or he could run light screen. There's also the fact that he could bring Magnetize to deal with the Giants a little bit better because of the Earth power. So all things considered, I doubt he brings Dazzling Gleam, so Blastoise is going to be a great answer to that. Scald, obvious. Ice Beam is mainly for the Dragonite and the Virizion, as well as hitting the Kyurem for a decent amount of damage. And in case Mew is already statused, or in case Mew is low and I don't want to get the Scald Burn on it because I don't want the Synchronize activating, I could just go for Ice Beam in case he doesn't have Recovery. And then Roar is mainly for the Suicune. Suicune is actually going to be a pretty big problem for the team because I don't really have a way to like OHKO it. And nothing on my team has a boosting move, so I can't like boost along with it. I was considering Calm Mind Diancie, but I like the slots that I have on my Diancie. So moving on, Black Blastoise. Obviously, this is the greatest YouTuber of all time, and I gotta show him some love. So then we got Han Solo, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Shadow Ball, Toxic Spikes. We've seen this set before, but I like Toxic Spikes here because if his defogger is Mew, then he's not going to be able to defog the Toxic Spikes away, and I doubt he brings Heal Bell on his Mew, all things considered. And like he could do it because he could like try to wear down my Cofagris with his Dragonite, let it get burned, and then go onto his Mew and Heal Bell. But that's a lot of turns invested just to weaken the Cofagris when it has Pain Split anyway. So when you consider that, I'm not really too worried about Heal Bell Mew because that's another slot of Mew used up, and that means that the Mew is not offensive, so that I'm going to be able to handle it a lot better. The more offensive his team, the more difficult it is going to be to handle it. Same goes for me. The more offensive my team is, if my team is offensive and his team is offensive, my team is going to win because I have Rain and I have Tornadus. Tornadus has natural recovery, and it just outspeeds his entire team, and it has a decent amount of bulk to be able to beat everything on his team one-on-one outside of Klefki, depending on the spread that I'm running. So Toxic Spikes is mainly for, like I said, the Mew, so that if the thing that I'm struggling with is Will-O-Wisping the Crocodile, because I don't really want to Will-O-Wisp the Crocodile when he has the Mew, because I don't want to get the Synchronize activated on myself, because that hurts my survivability. Also, this is, I changed this last minute into a Cold Berry. So Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Shadow Ball, Toxic Spikes. Will-O-Wisp mainly for the Dragonite and the Crocodile. Could also use it for the Crobat, but I doubt I'm going to do that because I'm probably going to just Shadow Ball it down to force it to go for Roost. And Brave Bird isn't really going to deal too much damage to me. And I could also like Will-O-Wisp the Electros because it is pretty difficult to deal with my team. If you look at my team, it's really hard to wear down, so using Will-O-Wisp and Shadow Ball to break it down is yeah. So yeah, Pain Split for recovery and Shadow Ball just for stab. Then I got the Tornadus with Assault Vest turned up. Oh, the EV spreads as well. This is just so that I can take Draco Meteors, and 36 in defense allows me to take Earthquakes from the Crocodile. With leftovers, it's not going to be a 2-hit KO if he's running Adamant, and I didn't really take into account knockoff because if he's going for knockoff, then I'm going to be able to take it anyway. And so yeah, I'm not really going to count for knockoff because knockoff works with leftovers, and then with hazards, it's too complicated to work in spreads with knockoff. Basically, I just wanted to be able to take Kieran's attacks. And there's one other thing that I wanted to do with this Blastoise, but I'm not going to explain it because I play Fufu twice, and I don't want him to be aware of the fact that he has something else that I'm kind of using this for. Alright, so then I got the Tornadus with Knockoff, Grass Knot, Icy Wind, and Hurricane. Basically, the spread is timid. This makes it so that I outspeed, I believe, Adamant Crocodile right off the bat. I don't need any more speed investment. Max HP, a lot of defense, and then the rest in Spadef. The Spadef allows me to take a Super Fang and a Volt Switch 100% of the time from his Electros, but the thing is, if I do allow that to happen, then I'm vulnerable to Pursuit from the Scarf Crocodile, so I have to be aware of that in case I really need the Tornadus to be alive. So knockoff, Grass Knot, Icy Wind, Hurricane. Knockoff is mainly for the Klefki so that it doesn't get leftovers recovery, so that I can wear it down. Moonblast does around 20 to 25% to the Klefki from my Diancie, and if that is his main switch in to my Diancie, then a couple of Moonblasts is going to be enough to knock it out. And if I Stealth Rock up, I only need to hit it with 3 Moonblasts to be able to knock it out, so that means that if he takes 1 Moonblast the first time, then I 2-hit KO it the next time that it comes in, so he would have no longer any Moonblast switch-ins. I also have Diamond Storm in case he is, like Diamond Storm also does a similar amount of damage, so I could also go for Diamond Storm and catch the Crobat if he brings Klefki and Crobat. And Grass Knot is mainly for the Suicune as well as the Crocodile. Icy Wind ensures that I outspeed the Dragonite if it wants to go for Dragon Dance on me, and I'll be able to outspeed it, deal like 20% to it, and then Icy Wind again, and I probably won't be able to knock it out. I probably do less than 20% to the Dragonite. It'll do like 10%, and then the next one will do a good amount of damage, but Icy Wind is basically just that my Dynasty can be able to outspeed it, ignoring the Dragon Dance boost and stuff like that, as well as my Scolipede, because Icy Wind, Rock Slide ensures that I kill it, and then Hurricane is the stab of choice. I'm probably not going to be using it that much, but I do want to have Hurricane just for the Banette and the Virizion, as well as the potential Crobat, but I can Icy Wind that as well. So then I have my Caterkiller. The EV spread, this ensures that, this is for Adamant Crocodile. I think turned up was for Modest Mew actually, instead of Adamant Crocodile, because this is, Crocodile hits 144, and I want to be able to outspeed that. Then I put it 196 in the HP and then 212 attack. With the 196 in HP, if I take Stealth Rock damage and I protect once, I'll be able to take a Brave Bird from the Crobat. Depending on his spread, if he's like, what is that called, Sharp Beak, then I'm not going to be able to take it, but yeah, Rock Slide ensures that I still 2-hit kill the Crobat with 2 Rock Slides, and it still does around 50% to the Dragonite after multi-skill is broken. I'm talking about a max HP Crobat. Rock Slide still 2-hit kills it, if I remember correctly. So yeah, the 196 is it also ensures that I take hits from like a defensive Mew, Banette. Also, Banette is kind of weird. Megahorn is, I think, stronger than Rock Slide against it, and it does like 30 to 40% to the Banette, so I can wear that down as well. It OHKOs the Crocodile no matter what amount of HP that it's at. It does like 20 to 30% to Suicune. And overall, it's just a really solid attack. I was considering putting Earthquake over Protect, but like I said, if his Crocodile gets going, I really do need the Protect to be able to do that, as well as the fact that I need Protect for the Crobat to revenge it. And Protect can also stall out because I am also running Toxic Spikes, so there's that as well. Spikes is pretty cool because if I use Spikes, the thing that I'm most concerned about is the Suicune. Getting a late game sweep on me with because if I keep roaring, eventually I'm not going to be able to roar the Suicune away anymore, and he's eventually just going to have the Suicune up, and I'm not going to be able to roar. He's going to have like an anchor Suicune, and I can't roar it away, right? So with the spikes up, I deal damage residually to the Suicune, and if he wants to go for like a preemptive rest, then I can keep roaring it away, and the hazards is going to stack up against it, as well as the fact that if I do set up spikes, then it allows me to handle the Mew and the Banette and the Kecleon and all his grounded type Pokemon a lot better. But it's mainly for the Suicune to be able to deal with that a lot better. If I put Baton Pass here, it really doesn't help me that much because it's only really helping Blastoise outspeed some Pokemon, but like Blastoise doesn't really have that much offensive pressure to be able to deal enough damage to his team. And Rock Slide is for the Crocodile. So then I have Goldie Rock, Stealth Rock, Ironhead, Earthquake, Roar. There's actually a really solid Pokemon in this matchup. The EV spread, originally I had this spread right here, but this spread is not as efficient if as this one, because 246 going to 255, basically when you have you want to have your HP and your defensive stats as close as possible to each other, and with the calculations for Pokemon, the closer your HP stats are to your defense stats, the better bulk that you have. So basically, the more I invest in defense, the less damage the more I invest in defense, the less it matters. Because if I invest like 60 more in defense, then he's only like a Dragonite's Earthquake does like, let's say it does 51 to 57. If I invest more in defense, it'll do like 51.1 to 57.1. So it's only like a 0.4% difference in the amount of damage that it's doing. And if I invest in special defense, I'm taking the special attacks a lot better. So if in case he's running like a Mew with special attack or an Electros flamethrower, it depends on the spread, but I should be able to take that a lot better than the other spread, and I can roar it away. Electros is going to be really annoying to deal with. I was considering putting Toxic over Roar, but I like the fact that I Roar plus Spikes and Stealth Rock to be able to shuffle his team and make it take a lot of hazards. So Ironhead, I originally had Sturdy with Heavy Slam, but then I realized Dragonite and Kyurem are really fat and only has 40 base power against those Pokemon. So Ironhead is slightly weaker against the Klefki, but it's a lot stronger against the Dragonite and the Kyurem, and I think it's like the same damage output against the Crocodile. I think Ironhead does more. So all in all, Ironhead is a lot stronger than the other thing, and I don't really need to flinch because this is slow as dirt. Earthquake, just good stab, decent move to use, and I can catch the Crobat roosting in case that does happen. And this is going to be very important because this is a very good Stealth Rock user against the Klefki. I really wanted a ground type to use Stealth Rock. I originally had Metagross in this slot, but Thunder Wave was being really annoying to me in testing, and I decided to really just put Stealth Rock on this so that I had a way to deal with the Klefki that wasn't Metagross. And Metagross, if I was running Metagross, I think I would be running a damage reducing berry like Shuka to deal with the Dragonite, but like Metagross doesn't learn Roar, and I really wanted to be able to shuffle his team, so I decided that this is going to be a bit better. Metagross handles the Metagross handles the Kyurem a lot better. It just has a really good matchup against his team, but the Thunder Wave was really annoying. I had a pretty cool set that I was going to bring. I might bring it the next time that I play him, so I'm not going to reveal it. But yeah, this is a really solid spread. Then I have the Diancie free rocks, Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Heal Ball, Protect. So this is pretty cool because I am going to allow my Torn and my other Pokemon to get statused, and then in case he brings something like a... how do I explain this? Like against a Crocodile locked into a knockoff, I can Heal Bell. Against a Mew that's a defensive Mew, in case he brings a defensive Mew, I can go for Heal Bell. Against a Virizion that I think is going to switch out, I could go for Heal Bell. Like there's so many opportunities for me to go for Heal Bell against his team. And if I'm thinking that he might also want to bring a Choice Scarf, Kyurem Black, or what do you keep calling Kyurem? Like I'm so used to playing against Kyurem Blacks on Wi-Fi or on any OU ladder that I keep calling it Kyurem Black. Against the Kyurem, I think he might bring its Scarf so that it deals with the Torn a little bit better, as well as the fact that it can catch the a Kingdra by using a Modest Nature instead of the other thing, and have bulk invested into it. So I think a Kingdra Scarf is not unlikely, and if he's locked in Dragon Pulse or even Ice Beam, I can be able to Heal Bell there. And Protect is, like I said, just to... The Suicune might be able to outspeed me if he runs a Luda speed on the Suicune, so I do need to be able to protect on that. I need to be able to protect on the Mew. And Protect is, like I said, also pretty good. I have Protect on Caterpillar and Free Rocks, so that Tide Spikes does add up. And I also have Will-O-Wisp as damage, and it's just a good scout, just in case his Crobat isn't carrying Steel Link. And if he does bring Crobat, it also allows me to see what move his Crocodile is going to lock itself into, because if he's bringing Crocodile, I'm pretty confident that's going to be Scarfed. Heal Bell could also be Magnetize, but I don't know. If I use it's too hard to beat the Klefki and have this Pokemon, so like the slots are limited. So I feel like this is a very, very good matchup. I decided to opt to not bring Rain, just to have an option the next time that I do play against him, because he is in my division and I want to have options against him. And I feel like this is a really solid matchup against him. And it really depends on like what offensive threats that he brings. If he brings like all of his offensive threats, then I think I have a really good matchup, because he doesn't really have the defensive support to go along with this offense. Like if he brings like an offensive Mew, Kyurem, Dragonite, and Crocodile, then Dynasty is just going to have a field day. And if he brings like his more defensive Pokemon like Suicune, I think that's going to be a little bit more of a struggle for me, because then he can put pressure on me with Stealth Rock and stuff like that. But I do have the Wrap Spin, so I'm not really too worried, because my Blastoise can Wrap Spin on all of his Stealth Rock users, except for Mew with Thunderbolt. But that is going to be it for the team preview. I will be live recording my game, because I got the all the stuff worked out. My layout should be fine, and oh no, I feel pretty confident going into it. And there's also one thing I like to mention, but I forgot it. But anyways, check out Fufu. His link will be in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys. I think we're gonna upload this. I think I'm uploading this on Sunday, and we're gonna have the battle on Monday. Or I'm gonna upload this on Sunday, and the battle's still gonna be on Sunday, just later. I'll leave it in the description below. But hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.